what is going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in, Drawn Scoop Gaming. Tonight, I'm bringing you my Dragon Link deck. I know there's been some success recently with this. I think it won French Nationals. There's been a few other deck profiles popping up. I've enjoyed Dragon Link for a while. I think it's a ton of fun. I like decks that are flexible, can do a lot of different things. And this is one of those decks. And so let's hop into it. So for the main deck, for my Rocket package, I'm playing 3 Tracer, 2 Synchron, a Recharger, the 2 Abso Router, and 3 Quick Launch. Let's see if I can get this centered for you guys. So this is the lineup that's been working for me. I've seen a lot of Dragon Link profiles, and most people are playing a similar lineup. I like playing the higher number. You want to see Tracer, Synchron's pretty good to see, even Recharger. They really aren't bad to open, and if you do open one, it means that throughout your combo, you can search one, search another one. It makes your plays a little more consistent. You really, you want to see one to do the full combo. So I really like this. Quick Launch is amazing. This card being at 3, it's just, it makes sense that they bring E-Telly back if this has been at 3 the whole time. So amazing card, love to see it. For the next little engine is the Chaos package. So 3 Safer, the Babies, Levianeer, and Chaos Space. Again, Chaos Space is just such a power card. All the spells in this deck are really, really good. I'm only playing Levianeer. I have tested this with the really expensive one. You have to forgive me, I'm forgetting the name, but the Pendulum one. And it's good, but it's a little bit win more. The effect to add something back and then pop itself out of your Pendulum zone is really nice, because this deck, you're discarding a lot throughout your combo, and having those extra cards in hand does matter, but it just doesn't come up that often. 90% of the time, I'm using Chaos Space to search the Babies. Every now and then, I'll search Levianeer, but it just does not come up enough where I want to play this and one more card that is essentially a brick. And so this has been working great. Really happy to have these in the deck. So this is where my profile might differ from a few that you would typically see. So I am playing what I would consider the full chamber Dragon Maid package. And so I'm maxing out 3 chambers, 3 tiding, and 1 hospitality. This is something I do not see people playing, and I genuinely just don't understand it. This deck can do a lot with just being able to get 2 dragons on board. And so what playing hospitality does is, if you brick and you open chamber with nothing else, you can normal chamber, search hospitality, link chamber off, bring it back, and you can make either Romulus or go into the Heavenly Spheres. And so I love playing this for that reason. The 3 tiding and the 3 chamber Dragon Maid I also love for a few reasons. One is just the consistency of seeing tiding. This card does so much in this format, especially with things like Raigeki, Lightning Storm. Being able to chain this to things like that and return something like a chamber back to hand, or you have Seal, you contribute Seal off to bounce a card, and then when Raigeki or something resolves, its second effect triggers, special something out, and then this is still live. So having the back row just lets you do more, and it means that you're never dead. The other thing is, with Chaos Ruler, you are milling a lot of these, and oftentimes you will have these engraved, which makes this an extender to special chamber. Also, on your opponent's turn, being able to banish this from grave, special this, and then search something like this for your next turn, it adds a lot of grind power to the deck, and that's something that I really value. So here's something that's also a little bit different, is I'm playing 3 Noctivision. A lot of people play this at 2. I understand that, because on its own it is a brick, but I love the +1, and I love being able to chain block Striker with Noctivision. So I want to see this. I want to keep adding cards, keep drawing cards, and this just allows me to do that. And there's just a lot of times when I want to see this, and I'm happy to have it at 3 for that reason. So I'm playing 1 Kokimiri Drago. This is format specific. And so I'll show you, I'm not gonna show you really the side deck necessarily because that is format specific and kind of, you know, shape it for your locals. But I do play a couple options in there that I wanna show, and I'll show that later in the video. But this, just for the format, this stops your board from being able to get super polyed, which I think is really important. And this also stops Despia. And so really, really good card. Again, I'll show you other options because in certain matchups like Sword Soul, this is not as good. So for the field spells, you just need one of each. They're both searchable, so pretty self-explanatory there. I'm playing one Called By just because it is so powerful. And for the hand traps, I'm playing 3 Valor and 3 Lancia. So this is something that as I test this more, if I can add 3 more, like 3 DD Crow, I'm going to try to do that. This has just been working for me. It's important to me, I see people playing Imperm, stuff like that, and mostly I see cards that you cannot add off of Chaos Ruler, and that doesn't make sense to me. Both of these I can add off Chaos Ruler. So if I get that far in my combo, more often than not, I'm milling one of these 2 cards and I can add it. So even, 2 Effect Failures, for example, not once per turn, love to see that. And the Lancia, it's just, this stops a lot in the format right now. And so I really like that. That's it for the main deck. That's 40 cards. We'll hop into the extra deck. So of course, Striker Dragon, it's at 1 for a reason. This card is incredible. This turns Rocket Tracer into like a 1-card Chaos Ruler or Borreload Savage Dragon, so it's incredible. Pisty, this does not come up as often as you'd think. It's, obviously an excellent card, but more often than not, I'm using it when I just need something in grave, and so I've already used Striker and I just need to link something off. There are times when you can kind of get greedy or get really aggressive when you're trying to end the game that this comes up, or, very specific absolutely busted hands where you can justify going into this. Otherwise, this does not come up that often. Romulus, you literally just need this to search Ravine. Hieratic Seal, so the typical combo is make Romulus and then keep going, but if you can make Hieratic Seal first and you don't need to search Dragon Ravine, which I often do, it is so much better because this helps you play around Nibiru. So it just gives you a board presence and gives you something that you can do if they do tribute this. So yeah, this deck is kind of built to make Hieratic Seal first and not have to go into Romulus. I absolutely see this as the worst play, or the lesser of the 2 plays, I should say. Quad Boral, this does come up sometimes, really nice to have. IP Masquerena and Unicorn, this is also good. You lock yourself in the darks with Rocket Tracer, so having these as dark is really, really beneficial. Speaking of dark, 1 Gloomy, this comes up a lot. It's really easy to make and helps you end games. Triple Burst, sometimes you need this arrow. It does matter. So, 1 copy, it comes up in niche situations, but you want to have it. It's, you don't want to need it and not have it. It's one of those kind of cards. Access Code, obviously. Boral End, this card is just amazing. There's certain matchups that literally just cannot out this card. Like, this auto wins against certain games. And so sometimes if you've exhausted your negates and you have like Savage with 1 negate and, you've used it, you can literally just clear your entire board, make this with IP, and it becomes a serious problem. And this deck has so much recursion, especially with that full Dragon Maid package, that you can clear your board into this and still have a lot to do to end the game. I should say a lot of plays to do to end the game. So I do play the Zombie Vampire. This kind of comes up. It's the only Xyz monster I play in the deck. Being able to summon your opponent's monster is really, really nice. The cool thing is if you use your opponent's monster, it's level 8. So you can summon something off of Gloomy and then bring back Chaos Ruler and make Zombie Vampire. So yeah, tonight playing this, I used this simply as an extender to summon one of the monsters that was milled off it so that I could make IP Masquerena, and it did matter. So nice to have. Chaos Ruler, this card is just absolutely incredible. The cool thing is if you use it with Zombie Vampire, you can detach this so it doesn't get banished after you special summoned it by its own effect. But this card is just, this is the heart and soul of this deck. It's got to be one of my favorite cards. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. I just love it. So yeah, really cool. Hot red, self-explanatory. It's you know, I make this more than I make Savage. If you open a rocket piece, it's really easy to do this. So those are your Omni Negates. Like I said, I'll show a few side deck cards, but ultimately that's up to you. I mean, hey, the whole deck's up to you, but
no, they have to play this list.
yeah, you have to play this list. So these are the two options. Let me see if I can find Drago. So these are kind of the three seal options. I don't play Brotar. I like to have card advantage. I think there's so many ways in this deck for me to search and get extenders that I don't necessarily need Brotar. It hasn't come up that often. If I was playing like 60 cards, that would probably change. But yeah, these are my options. So Goliath says neither player can special summon from the extra deck except Amorphage monsters. So it can be a problem, but against certain decks, this is way better than these two, right? So like Sword Soul, this stops them cold. There's not a lot they can do against it. Really good to have. Again, I already mentioned it, like the mirror match, this is really good. This is really good against Dinomorphia. All their stuff is dark. It's really good against Despia and all that stuff. So really nice to have. And then Ether is when it's normal or special summoned, you can target a monster on the field and banish it. So other things that maybe aren't as affected, for example, like Fluonderies, I might side this in because these do absolutely nothing against them. But this just gives you another interruption, another level of interruption off of Hermetic Seals. So I side these and main deck this one. The only other card I want to show because I think it is absolutely hilarious is Eradicator Epidemic Virus. So Sky Striker is still a thing. Dinomorphia is a thing. If you call Spell against Striker or Trap against Dinomorphia, it's an auto win. It's just side this in, it's an auto win. And the cool thing is a lot of times you're ending with this and your Hermetic Seal, and this is just free. This is still in your grave. So a lot of times I'm leaving this until turn 2. If I'm siding in my Eradicator Epidemic Virus, I will bring this back, and that's your fodder for this. So it's just incredible. And even if you can't, a lot of times you're still gonna have a dark monster that fits the bill, right? Like your entire deck essentially fits the bill for this. So this can do so much against so many decks, and even, you know, even going first, if you know what you're playing against and they're siding in a bunch of hate, this can still, you know, it eliminates problems. It's amazing. So yeah, that's my deck profile. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. We love the support. We're a new channel, so we're trying to get into it and get all the support we can. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I know this deck, there's been a lot of variations of it, and mine, you know, it's a little different. There's some similarities to some of the top lists for sure, but I try to do things the way I like it and what I think works for me, and this has been working. So let me know what you think, and thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.